I was born in 1457, son of Edmund Tudor and Margaret Beaufort, a child of the House of Lancaster. My father died before I drew my first breath, and my mother was but 13 years of age when she bore me. My claim to England's throne was slight, distant, uncertain, yet in that frail thread destiny had knotted its design. My youth was spent not in splendor but in exile. England was torn by the Wars of the Roses, Lancaster against York, brother against brother, and the blood of noble houses flowed freely for near 30 years. When the cause of Lancaster fell, I fled across the narrow sea to Brittany. There I waited, patient as winter, for fortune's turn. In exile I learned the value of silence, of prudence, and of trust. Virtues a king must hold dearer than gold. My chance came in the summer of 1485. Richard of Gloucester, who called himself Richard III, had seized the crown and earned England's hatred through cruelty and suspicion. The fate of his young nephews, the princes in the Tower, darkened his reign like a shadow upon the sun. So I gathered a modest army, men loyal to the Red Rose of Lancaster, and crossed the sea to Wales. On the 22nd day of August at Bosworth Field, our forces met. Betrayal struck Richard from within his own ranks, and God's favour fell upon me. Richard was slain upon the field, and the crown of England was placed upon my head. Thus ended the Wars of the Roses, and thus began the House of Tudor. One of my first acts as king was to secure peace within my realm. I wedded Elizabeth of York, daughter of Edward IV, and niece to the fallen Richard. In that union the red rose and the white were bound together, sealing the wounds of a divided kingdom. From it was born our emblem, the Tudor rose, symbol of unity, strength, and renewal. Yet peace is never without peril. I knew my claim was questioned by some, and ambition still stirred among those who dreamt of Yorkist rule. I dealt with them firmly. The Earl of Warwick, nephew of Richard III, was confined to the Tower, and after many years executed for treason. False claimants arose, Lambert Simnel, Perkin Warbeck, boys coached by those who wished to see me fall. I met them not with haste but with careful resolve. I learned long ago that patience wins more crowns than rage. I ruled with caution and with calculation. My treasury was my armor, my peace my sword. I restored England's wealth after decades of ruin. I taxed where I must, fined where I should, and watched my nobles closely, for they had grown too proud in the chaos of war. A poor king cannot be strong, a reckless king cannot be safe. By the end of my reign the crown was rich, and England stood steady beneath it. Abroad I sought peace, not conquest. I strengthened bonds through marriage, for alliances made in matrimony cost less blood than those made by battle. My eldest son, Arthur, was wed to Catherine of Aragon, daughter of Spain's most powerful monarchs. It was a union meant to secure friendship and honor between our realms. When Arthur died young in 1502, I grieved not only for my son but for England's future. Yet Providence had other plans. Catherine would one day marry my second son, Henry, who would succeed me upon the throne. I have ruled England for 24 years, long enough to see her healed, ordered, and secure. I have built not through splendor, but through patience, not through conquest, but through prudence. My reign may not have dazzled, but it has endured, and endurance is the truest measure of a king. Now, as my strength wanes, I look upon the realm I leave behind, united after strife, prosperous after ruin, and prepared for the greatness that is to come. The Tudors will reign where once only factions fought. My work, I pray, will be remembered not for glory, but for peace. I am Henry, the seventh of that name, founder of a new dynasty, restorer of order, and servant of England's crown. I have ruled with care, with calculation, and with conscience, and that, I believe, is enough.